Welcome back. Are you making the biggest mistake when it comes to weight loss? You could be trying to lose weight all wrong. Here's the biggest weight loss mistake that most people make and how it's keeping you from losing weight. We're going to talk about why you're doing it, what to do instead so you can actually lead the healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams. Welcome. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. Knowing what to focus on is a big part of the guilt-free process. What people don't understand and what they commonly make a mistake with is thinking that time spent doing cardio is the biggest factor in weight loss. Click like if that's something you can relate to or something that you want to debunk with me right here, because this thinking can hold you back in a big way, and it just makes you really sweaty and it might not get you the results you want. So let's get into 3 misleading thoughts that have people thinking that cardio is the biggest factor in weight loss. The first one, you might even be using cardio as an excuse, really, because you say something like, I don't want to get too bulky. This is a common thing that people say when they don't understand how to lose weight or how to change the composition of their body, how to get fit, all that stuff. So if you were thinking this, you were probably putting yourself behind in terms of making the progress that you want, building the body you want, looking how you want to look, right? A lot of times when people think this, they don't think about the amount of testosterone. I hear a lot of ladies saying this, where they don't want to get bulky because they think lifting weights will make them bulky. It takes a lot of weights over a long period of time, an ideal diet, and the right amount of testosterone in order to get super bulky. So don't worry about that, especially in terms of starting your weight loss journey. We'll talk about what you should do instead later. Another misleading fact is I don't know anything about lifting weights. And this is an education thing where if you don't have experience, you don't have anyone teaching you, that this is an easy way to get stuck and think that maybe just running a lot, sprinting on a treadmill, or doing other kinds of exercise is the best way to lose weight. You don't have to avoid strength training, lifting weights if you don't know how to do it. You just want to get resources to understand how to do that. So you can work with a personal trainer locally. You can do body weight exercises. That can be a big part of your health plan. You can do other strength training exercises to get you on track so you can lose weight and lead the life that you want. Okay. The third misconception is you believe that sweating burns calories and that's what causes weight loss. This one is more common than you might expect, so you're not alone if you're thinking this. Sweating does burn a super minimal amount of calories, but the real thing comes from moving and how you're powering your muscles basically with metabolism, the processes that increase, and that burns more calories. So you use a lot of energy to make your muscles move, and that is kind of the key behind cardio and weight loss in terms of how cardio helps you burn calories. It's not about the actual process of sweating. So you can be in a cold room and still burn calories, and you actually do. What I want to tell you more about is exercise activities are a small part of your daily calorie burn. I have a picture to show you here. This is a picture of your total daily energy expenditure. I've covered this in another video. I'll put that in the card so you can see it. So basically, the biggest expense of your daily calories is your rest. Basal metabolic rate, that BMR, is when you're not doing anything, you use a lot of calories and energy just surviving, restoring, rebuilding, growth, development, repair, keeping your heart beating, your mind on, all that stuff. So that is 70%. Then the non-exercise activities is about 15%. Thermic effect of food, how many calories you burn to help you digest your food properly and get all those nutrients and stuff where they need to go, that's 10%. And exercise activity thermogenesis is estimated to be just 5% of your daily calorie expenditure. So in terms of exercising specifically, even if you increase your exercise, it's still going to be a minor part of your weight loss journey. Click like if that makes sense to you. All right, so what I want to do next is give you 2 things that actually make a difference. The first thing, how often you get active. There's a study linked below on YouTube, Breaks in Sedentary Time, that found that independent of total sedentary time and moderate to vigorous intensity activity time, increased breaks in sedentary time were beneficially associated with waist circumference, body mass index, triglycerides, and 2-hour plasma glucose. So blood sugar, how big your waist is, your weight to height ratio, and then how much fat is circulating in your blood. Triglycerides are kind of like a measure that comes along with cholesterol. So this is a big thing to take note of. Even if you have a really intense workout every day, if you're doing CrossFit for like 30 to 45 minutes every day, but you sit the rest of the day, your results won't be as good as someone who takes more frequent breaks in their sedentary time, getting up and walking more often. The study says that it was less than 5-minute breaks, like breaks that were shorter than 5 minutes in duration, more often will have a bigger impact compared to the intensity of your exercise in the morning or any other time. So sit less, move more is a big thing here. Now, gradually increase to walking 3 or more times per day is a good tip. That's a good strategy to increase your physical activity. You'll burn more calories. You'll increase that non-exercise activity thermogenesis we were talking about here. And that's how you can lose weight more simply in just a regular part of your day. All right. Also, things like standing more often. If you're sitting all day, if you're typing, if you are a freelancer doing your documents all the time, then standing more often is a good strategy to improve your blood circulation, physical activity, calorie expense, so you can lose weight. And that's the first tip. How often you get active. The second tip I have is how you eat has a big impact, bigger impact than thinking that you have to run a ton of cardio or do a lot of exercises in order to lose weight. Because losing weight is about calorie balance, calories in and calories out. So a lot of times people, when they're eating, they don't get enough fiber in their diet. That causes them to feel more hungry, and then they aren't able to lose weight because they're overeating low fiber foods, which may be higher in fat and carbs and sugar and all those things that you want less of. What you want instead is fiber. Fiber is super beneficial because it has volume, like it fills your stomach up, and there's no calories. There are no calories in fiber or water. So if you're eating high water, high fiber foods like fruits and veggies, then you have the stomach volume without adding the amount of calories for that volume of food. The calorie density of those foods is lower. Also, talking about glycemic index, all that stuff. So if you're eating more fiber, you'll have an easier time losing weight. And that's a great substitute for thinking that you have to run a ton on treadmills and do a lot of cardio in order to lose weight. Usually you can get great benefits from eating more fiber. If you want to understand more about how to eat more fiber, I've got the full plate sessions to help you confidently navigate healthy eating without all or nothing crash diets. That is linked below as well. So those are 2 things that you can do to improve your weight loss without making that big mistake. You can monitor how you eat and then how often you get active. That way you don't have to run for hours on the treadmill and hate your life and get all sweaty and gross. I mean, you'll probably still want to exercise and get active, but it doesn't have to be cardio specific to lose weight. That's the biggest mistake, biggest misconception for weight loss. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you want help, you can message me on Instagram. I'm at Fit for Freelance, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And next you can watch, Does Walking Burn Belly Fat, from the Guilt Free Health Coach. I made a video all about that. I'll put that right here. So that's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.